The Bluebell of Scotland, also known as the Bluebells of Scotland, is one of those tunes that has been around for so long that nobody's quite sure where it came from. According to Wikipedia, it's associated with a theatrical personage called Dorothea Jordan, who may or may not have written the piece in 1801. It's not entirely clear whether she claims to have written the words or the melody, or both. Most people prefer to think of it as a good old traditional tune by the most famous and prolific composer of all, Anon. The theme was famously used by Joseph Haydn and also by the American trombone virtuoso Arthur Pryor as the theme for a set of variations. The lyrics tell of a rather sad tale, a young woman who is missing her lover, who has gone away to fight for king and country. These stories usually end rather badly. In 4/4, 4 crotchet beats to the bar, written here with a key signature of C major, no sharps and no flats, puts it in C major or possibly A minor, but this is definitely in C major. It ends on a C. If you play through it, it sounds definitely in a major key. There's one accidental there, the F sharp, taking you up to the G there. The F sharp is the leading note of the dominant seventh in G major, which is the dominant key of C major. Anyway, this is definitely in C major, and it begins on the 4th beat of the bar. Here's a bar line, here's a complete bar. So this is a pickup or an upbeat, also known as an anacrusis, but let's just call it a pickup. So you begin after 3 beats, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you come in there. There's a repeat here, 3 beats here, 1, 2, 3, and this is the 4th beat of that bar. On the second time, 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's your 4th beat there, and then on to the next line. To reflect the military connotations with this lyric and theme, you'll hear some drums rattling away in the background, but it's a very, very steady tempo, and your problem will be maintaining the steady tempo, making your breath last till the ends of the phrases, making a beautiful sound at all times, not cutting the ends of your last notes short while you take in a massive gulp of air. So let's have a look at this note. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, breathe, 4. Or 1, 2, 3, breathe, 4 here. So don't take the opportunity to play the start of this note and then have a couple of beats off while you relax and make a cup of tea and have a breath before either going back to the beginning or carrying on there. Your job is to keep the sound going as long as possible. It does say 3 beats, so if you took that literally, you'd go right up to the bar line here and straight across the bar line, and you wouldn't have time to breathe. But you're only human, you have to breathe, but do it as quickly as possible and as late as possible. 1, 2, 3, breathe, 4. And you have another breath mark here. So 1, 2, breathe, 3, 4. Before you start, when you hear the introduction, there's a 4-bar introduction. Take an enormous breath before you play at the beginning. Now you could say, well, I don't need an enormous breath because I've only got to play to here and then I can breathe again. But if you take an enormous breath, a huge, long, deep, slow breath before you start, some of that air will stay in your lungs, some of that oxygen will stay in your bloodstream, and that will maintain you through the whole 16 bars until you get to the end. So yes, you do get a brief opportunity here to snatch your breath as you're going along, but fill the tank right up to the brim before you start, and you'll only do that if you prepare. As soon as you hear the introduction, start breathing in, and once you've got a full lungful, get a bit more in, and once you're absolutely full, have another sip and get a bit more in. Now be very careful of the upbeats, the pickups. Be careful that you don't bash those out. This note comes on the downbeat, so this is the stronger of the two notes. So whatever you do with this note here, you're going to have to make this note a little bit stronger. So be very, very cautious how you play this note. Anticipate the volume that you want this note to come out at and make this one slightly less. Same again here. This note, these two notes pick up into this phrase here. So these are the first two notes of this phrase here, but this is the downbeat. So these must be judged carefully so that they don't wrong foot this note. This is the one that gets the weight. That's not to say that you should jump on it, but this should get a little bit more weight than these two here. And once again here, two pickups going over into this note, which is on the downbeat. So you could think of a little crescendo here going up these two notes onto this note. The last note is 6.5 beats long. All of that bar, the first two beats of this bar, and just touch the third beat there and come off with the rest of the accompaniment. Don't be tempted to get to this note and think, oh, well, I've finished, and stop and just leave this note nowhere. Keep counting, keep counting, keep counting, steady 4, through here, 1, 2, 3. And as soon as you've played the third note there, you can come off with the rest of the the third beat. As soon as you touch the third beat there, come off with the rest of the orchestration. Don't come off before. So it's a combination of counting and also listening to what's going on. Before we attempt to play this, we should do as much preparation as we can, have a quick look through, and then go through with the instrumental track, put your fingers down on the valves at exactly the right time, and the right fingering, of course. Don't forget the F sharp there. Take note of the slurs. You've got lots of short slurs there. You tongue the first note, not the second note. Tongue the first note, not the second note. Tongue the first note, not the second note. Watch out for that. You've got 3 notes slurred together there. Look, 3 in a group. Watch out for those as we're doing our preparatory run with the fingers. Here, this is a tie. Not technically a slur because these notes are on the same pitch. So the effect of this tie is to turn these 3 notes into one long one. So we'll go through fingers only, sing along, say ta or da for the starts of the notes that are tongued, but don't say ta or da for the notes that are included in the slurred groups. Take note of when you need to breathe. Breathe in the same places when you're singing as you will do when you're playing. It'll give you some idea of the scope of the problem. Okay, let's try that now, and then we'll have a go at playing it. But let's do as much preparation as we can before we attempt to play it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 3, 4. 4, 2, 3. If you made any mistakes at all with the fingering or with the articulation, or if you breathed in the wrong places, go back, do it again. Get it absolutely right with the fingering and the tongue and the breathing before you attempt to play it. And when you've done that, there's no shame in doing it several times. That's the way we learn to play a musical instrument. We go over and over and over again and again, trying to correct our mistakes and make tiny improvements every time we play it. But when you've done all the preparation you can, have a go at playing it. And once again, you'll have to go over it many, many times playing it before you can get it up to a high standard. It's not easy to play. It looks simple on the page, but deceptively difficult to make sound beautiful. So here we go then. Play along. Let your water out first. Don't forget, as soon as you hear the introduction start, the instrumental introduction begin, start breathing in so that you have an enormous reserve of air to help you right through to the end. Good luck.